Hey, what's up? So this is another video just to help the beginners out there starting Ventuz. We're going to take a look at fonts and how you can add them into your project. So we need an axis. We always need an axis to place our objects in front and to have to move the objects around. If we go on the text tab, you have text 3D and text 2D. So text 3D is 3D, so you got blocks text, enriched text, and scroll text. So for now we're just going to focus on blocks text. It's going to be really simple. So if I scale this up, you notice it scales from the left, so it's left justified right now. So if I click on the font, and click on the font in the content window, we have our text alignments. So you can see here top, and then line alignment near, which is the left. So if you want it to be center, so now the center of the axis will be there, but it's still top center. So if I scale it, you'll see it scales from the top. So scale the pivot would be somewhere here. So if you want it to scale from the center where it says alignment center, now the text will scale from the center. So the difference between 2D text and 3D text is this one's 3D. Now you have a bit more options with the 3D option. I mean, in the 3D options you have here, you click on it, you have styles for extrusion. So you can say I want a beveled edge, and it will do that for you. So there you go. If you click on the drop down, you've got plain, extruded, edit. If you click edit, here you can up the quality of the 3D text, which is quite cool. So if I said very high, and then I said maybe I want, this top rounded, hit OK. It says, do you want to save? You could say yes if you want it to overwrite that existing beveled preset. I'm going to say no, but it will still apply the effect. I just didn't want to overwrite the existing beveled name. So let's give it a few seconds to process. It's applying it to all the mesh on the fonts. So you can see, doing all the characters, creating mesh font. There you go. And now it's applied that effect to the mesh. Now if you want to edit that text, you can just go here, click on in the content window, go to your properties, where it says text, you can type in whatever you want, so title or hello world, and of course you can scale this down. Now you can apply materials to this, you can animate this, and what you can do with text effects, you can apply text effects to text. So if you go under the text tab where it says text effects, and you drag this text effects to the content window, make sure you don't just let go. You need to hover over the connecting lines of your text and drop it on the actual line, the connection, and then it will give you an option of which one do you want. So you could say I want alpha effect, or spark effect, or a circle effect. You can choose different effects. So if I went for a rotate effect, for example, now you can see it's connecting the lines between. And if I drag the progress on the rotation effect here, now you can animate the text. So you could animate it coming in if you had a title, for example. You can have multiple effects. So if I just space this out, so if I add another text effect on there, just to make sure it's on the connecting line. Remember I said alpha, I could also do the alpha, so I could have that fade in, and I could animate this as well same time. So I could have multiple text effects going on at the same time. And if you click on the properties of the text effect, for example, you've got options of direction. So you could say center, so now it scales from the center. I can invert this, so now it's So you can play around with this, and same with the alpha. All the text effects, similar properties, different effects, really easy to use and pick up. I won't cover too much on this, just to show you what you can apply to text. So if I go center as well, now it fades in from the center. If I want to invert that, I can turn that off and fades out the other way. There we go. Now say I want to replace this with 2D text, I'll just delete this, keep the same axis. Now let's look at the 2D text. Text 2D. Now the text 2D is really good because you can scale this up and you'll notice the quality holds up. It never, you don't have any tessellation. You can zoom in and there's no pixelation, no tessellation. It's really nice 2D text. So if you really need crisp text for big presentations, 2D text is really good. Definitely worth using. So again, same thing, same as the 3D text. The properties are very similar, pretty much identical except for just the way it looks. So you got the same layout, same text field here. If I type in title, go into fonts. Now here, if you want to change the font, for example, I didn't show you in the 3D text, it's the same. You go to under fonts and you got default, headline, code. Now if I switch, it will just load a different font in, but you can go here and go edit and it will look at your system font, which will pull up a window will pop up. So now say system font, and then you can pick a font on your machine. So you could find one. Let's get nice font. Could be anything. Let's go for this one. Okay. I'll say no, import into project, and then I'll save that. So when it imports into project, it will save into my fonts folder of the project, and there you go. The text is in there. Really cool. And again, you can apply the text effects if you want it. So I've applied a scale effect to this one. There you go. And I could animate this in as a title. Very simple. You can apply materials again to your text. So if you wanted to add a solid color to this, for example, and it was a blue or green or yellow, whatever you want, you know, it could be whatever you want. Hopefully this was, you know, useful. I thought the font looked like Ventuz cover, but yeah. But you can play around with that. Hopefully this help you get started with bringing in fonts. Useful tip as well, if you hover over anything in the toolbox, for example the fonts, and you press F1, you'll get an interactive example of that node, and you can also pull up help on the text. So if you want further information on that specific node, how to import fonts, it will explain every little thing on it. Documentation is really good. Well, thank you again. Hopefully this was a useful video. Take care.